Hi everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. I'm Jolima. It's been a minute since I uploaded my last video. I've been quite busy, a lot of things going on, but everything is fine. And a couple of weeks ago, this channel reached out to 14,000 subscribers mark. I was like mind blown when that happened, and I still am because I'm not the most mainstream reviewer. I mean, I'm not the first guy that people think of when talking about fragrance reviews or fragrance reviewers because, well, I'm not talking about the most mainstream, the most designer, the most mass appealing either fragrances, other videos. So I'm just doing my thing, and I'm just talking about, I talk more about niche fragrances than designers, and even the designers, it's more obscure designers, more hidden gems. So this is not your typical average Joe type of fragrance YouTube channel, but hey, I'm still very happy that this channel is growing a lot, and I couldn't be more proud and I couldn't be more thankful for your ongoing support. And being said, I want to talk about 10 niche fragrances that are fantastic. I absolutely love these 10 niche fragrances, but they are completely worth the price tag. So this is the sequel of my last video, Amazing Fragrances, but not worth the retail price tag. But these are amazing, and the price tag, it's just perfect, of course, in my view, in my opinion. Now, I'll not mention them in a specific order. So the first fragrance that I want to talk about, it's from the house of Naomi Goodsir, which I just have one fragrance from this brand, and I definitely want to add 3 or 4 more because these fragrances are fantastic. The one that I have is Hors du Serré, and this is the older bottle presentation. I mean, so simple. I mean, you see, I mean, feels a bit cheap because this is aluminum and it's very light. So this is a very simple bottle. I bought this like 4 years ago when I discovered this brand in Lithuania. This is Hors du Serré. Luckily now Embassy Niche Perfumery Store. Shout outs to Ricardo Claudino. He's a good friend of mine, and it's thanks to him that I discover fantastic niche fragrances, and well, that my niche passion really come to light. It was thanks to him, and he's now selling Naomi Goodsir. I will leave the website in the description box down below. I don't win anything with that. It's just helping a good friend of mine. And so he's now selling Naomi Goodsir, and I'm so happy. The bottles changed. They are more classy, and they are still 50 ml. This is a 50 ml, and this brand still sells 50 ml bottles, and I think that's it. But the retail price is 140 or 145 euros. I mean, it's very decent because you are getting high quality fragrance, unique creations, bold, they are intense, complex, loud, but in a good way. It's not loud as scratchy or just unbearable to experience. No, it's just in the best way possible. This, for example, this is so intoxicating, this is so delicious. This is beeswax, honey, tobacco, lots of tobacco, with rum, with coconut, with mango. This is tropical, but has this creamy, sticky, gooey honey, borderline animalic, but not the animalic. But this is definitely more gourmand. This leans more into the gourmand territory with the fruity tropical nature, and then with the tobacco, the more heavy oriental notes. This is delicious. I just love this to death. And then this brand Naomi Goodsir, they have Cuir Velour, which is a fruity leather scent, amazing. They have their latest release, which is called Corpus Ecus. That is a pure animalic leather, raw leather. It's amazing. Then they have the Iris Cèdre, I think it's Iris Cèdre, which is like an incredible butchery textured iris. I mean, you name it, they have so many fantastic gems. This for me, definitely, it's still the best, it's still my favorite. It's hors du soleil because you have lots of tobacco, lots of honey, then you have the booziness, the fruity nature, but the others are still fantastic. So this is a brand that I highly suggest you to check out. 50 ml, yes, but unique, high quality fragrances, all eau de parfum, and it's in the 140, 145 euros for a 50 ml. Not that bad, in my opinion. So first fragrance, and honestly first brand, is definitely Naomi Good Sir. The next fragrance here, it's from the house of Baruti. This is more of an indie brand from Netherlands, and this one is Dama Kupa. This is my favorite iris as of now, and for a while now. It's been a while since this is my favorite iris, and actually last year when I uploaded my favorite iris fragrances, this was my number one, and still is. This is just the most realistic, intense, buttery iris with cacao, with a hint of coffee. It's simply to die for. I mean, this is like a less makeup-y, more intensified Dior Homme, but still, this is still more complex than Dior Homme. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you like Dior Homme, you will definitely enjoy this one, although this one is definitely more heavy, more intense, more complex, has more layers. But still, if you like Dior Homme, if you like iris, this is definitely a must-have. Dama Kupa, this is a 30 ml. This is an extrait de parfum, and it's all you need. The retail price of Baruti is 125 euros right now. It's a bit steep for 30 ml, but again, like Naomi Good Sir, but this is more niche than Naomi Good Sir, and I dare to say that. This is because this is, again, this is more experimental, like I said. So this is all about iris, and this is fairly mainstream or likable, but because, for example, they have one Perverso, which is amazing, intense, roasted nuts with coffee, rum. It's amazing, but it's not for everyone because it's really powerful. I mean, you will feel not one room, not two, but 3 rooms. So these fragrances are from Baruti. They are all very intense, but high quality materials. I love the blend, and I just simply love this brand. I have 4 fragrances from this brand, and again, not only Dama Kupa, I think it's worth the price tag. It's really the entire brand, again, because they have chai. It's one of the best tea fragrances. It's a spicy, very spicy, warm tea fragrance, and I think that one is probably the most well-known, or was, and to a certain point, was back in the day, maybe the most well-known fragrance from Baruti. It was chai, and then you have another, which is Tinder, which is, I mean, one of the most incredible green fragrances that I experienced. And then you have Winter in Berlin. You have No Oud, which is fantastic. I think it doesn't have any oud in there, but it smells like oud. I mean, it's incredible. So you see, it's very experimental. It's definitely more indie, the more indie realm, but I think it's really worth the try, and I think it's worth the price, the retail price. Again, it's 125 euros for a 30 ml, but they are all extrait de parfum, and they, for me, well blended and high quality materials. And again, this is my favorite iris. It's Dama Kupa. This is so sensual. It's Baruti. check out Baruti. And actually, Ricardo at Embassy Niche Perfumery Store, he is selling this brand. The next fragrance here is from the house of Diptyque, and it is Oud Palau. This is my favorite Diptyque. It's Oud Palau. I love oud and I love rose. I love rose oud fragrances. And I love this bottle presentation. I really like Diptyque. I have 5 fragrances from Diptyque, and again, this is another brand that I think it's completely worth the price tag. So this is an eau de parfum. This is 135 euros now with inflation, and so on. So I think now it's 135. It was 130, but I think now it's 135. So Oud Palau is, a lot of people compare this with Eau d'Ispahan from Christian Dior, and while I can see that, I think this right now it's definitely more animalic and more interesting than Eau d'Ispahan, because this also has tobacco. This on my skin, it's very interesting because it starts off very bold, animalic, intense, loud, like oud, right in your face with rose, with the most sensual rose, and then as this develops, the rose fades away, and then you have this damp, like moisty tobacco leaves with oud. It's amazing. I love how this develops on my skin. Oud Palau, it's incredible. Yes, it's hard to wear because of the animalic nuances. I mean, and because it's still intense. I think it's probably the most intense fragrance from Diptyque, and definitely the most daring fragrance from Diptyque is Oud Palau. But if you like oud and if you like rose oud combinations, I think this is a must-have. Oud Palau is my favorite from Diptyque, but again, Diptyque is a brand that is completely worth the retail price, because again, this is a 75 ml eau de parfum, 135, just like the other fragrances that are in the eau de parfum concentration, like Philosophique that I love. I have Eau Duel, which is a fantastic vanilla fragrance in the eau de parfum concentration. I have Tamdao, one of my favorite sandalwood fragrances and one of the most well-known fragrances from Diptyque, aside of Philosophique. And I also have another one that I am forgetting. So it's Philosophique, it's Tamdao, Eau Duel, Oud Palau, and I have another one, and that now I am skipping, but well, I have 5 in total. I want to add Volute, which is a great tobacco scent. But yeah, again, Diptyque, great house, unique fragrances, also a bit experimental, but not as daring as, for example, Baruti. These are definitely more on the lighter side, aside Oud Palau, but the others are more in the lighter side, the more appealing side, more versatile side. I think it's the best way to describe it, in the more versatile way. So Diptyque, great house, great fragrances, and it's just incredible. This one, again, it's my favorite. It's Oud Palau. Next fragrance is from the house of Rania J, and it is Ambre Loup. This color, the color of the liquid, says it all. I love ambers. This is one of my favorite amber fragrances, and this house is very underrated, but I can understand, because the distribution, maybe it's not the best, but this brand, this fragrance is all about balsamic notes, lots of amber, like a very sticky, gooey amber, with a hint of oud. It has a hint of oud, definitely. Very balsamic, very sticky and dark, smoky. I absolutely love this. And this is so unique. This is one of the most unique amber fragrances that I ever tried. Ambre Loup is 50 ml. Now you have a 100 ml, but in the 50 ml, just like the all other Rania J fragrances, in the 50 ml, it's 125 euros. And I think it's perfect, because you get high quality, unique fragrances for, I mean, a fairly affordable price comparing to what you get and comparing with other fragrances in the market. I have, aside Ambre Loop, 3 other fragrances from this house. I have Oud Assam, amazing, one of my favorite oud fragrances. It's a spicy animalic oud. Then you have Cuirandelou, also one of my favorite leathers, and Tea Habanero, which is the most daring tobacco scent that I have because it has oud, tobacco, and animalic notes. It's hard and it's heavy. All of her fragrances are very heavy, are intense, are really that intense oriental fragrances that I absolutely love. But she has one that I want to add to my collection, which is called Lavont 44, which is an incredible lavender fragrance. Incredible. I think it's lavender and vanilla, but with a more pronounced lavender note. It's perfect for spring and summer. But the others are more intense. She also has one musk, but I'm not a big fan of that one. I think out of all of her fragrances, the musk, something that I'm forgetting the name, it's the one that I was more disappointed with. Then you have Jasmine. The Jasmine one, it's also fantastic if you love Jasmine. I mean, it smells like a real indolic, slightly animalic Jasmine. So as you see, all of her fragrances are daring, are bold, are intense, unique, well made, and it's really worth the price tag. I mean, you have fragrances, I mean, I have to say this, you have fragrances like Rouge d'Aube, which is like insane in terms of pricing, which I actually covered this topic on my last video. Although I like some Rouge d'Aubes, I like them. I'm not being hypocrite because after all, I do have it. They were sent to me for free to do a review, which I did. But I do enjoy them. I mean, it's not the most wonderful thing that I ever smelled, but I do enjoy them. But it's a thing. Would I pay full retail? No. So it is what it is. And then you have fragrances like Rania J. That, I mean, it's fantastic scents for, I mean, a fraction of the price of these uber luxury brands. And in terms of quality, this is not worse. So I think Rania J, it's definitely a fragrance house that if you like this type of more heavy fragrances, more ambers, more ouds, more animalics, I think Rania J is definitely a must-have. It's a must-try. Again, 50 ml like this is 125. You also now have the 100 ml, which is of course more expensive, but honestly I think you don't need them. At least for me, for instance, I don't feel the need because this is already very intense, and I already have this fragrance for like 3 years. I mean, and I wore this a lot already, and look, I mean, I'm not spraying heavily because it's not needed. So Rania J, it's a stunning house. Talking about stunning houses, no surprise here whatsoever. Profumum Roma, and this is Patchouli. Man, this is already one of my most worn fragrances of this year. Patchouli this is my favorite patchouli. This is the best patchouli in the market. I'm saying that loud and clear. Oh wow. This is this earthy, cakey, chocolatey patchouli. Dark, heavy, with resins. It's simply to die for. This is pure patchouli. This is like an extrait, and this is actually extrait de parfum, so this is pure patchouli with resins. I mean, it's wonderful. If you like psychedelic, which I already tried, I really liked psychedelic, but I don't feel the need to have it because I have this one and I do prefer this. This is out of this world. You need to try it for yourself. I think there aren't enough words that can describe this fragrance. But it is like this intense, earthy, damp chocolatey patchouli with a hint of resins, and it's all that. It's all you get, and for me that's perfect, like all Profumo Broma fragrances. And again, this is more like amazing brands that are worth the retail price than this specific brand itself, specific fragrance itself, because Profumo Broma, they are more steep. I mean, this is a 100 ml and the price tag is 220 euros. So yeah, it can be a bit steep. Yes, not for me. I think for me is definitely worth the price tag. I have 14 or 15 fragrances from this house and I want to add some more. So, and I don't have any trouble with that because Profumo Broma, I mean, it's my favorite. It is my favorite house, is Profumo Broma. Are they the most complex fragrance house? No, but they have this natural smelling quality into their fragrances that for me it's just mind-blowing. This is patchouli and this smells exactly like patchouli. You have the Aqua Disallo, which is for me, I mean, a summer staple. It's a pure aquatic scent, but it's not fishy. It's just done right, you know. It's just done right, realistic, with a natural smelling quality. Now, are they using natural ingredients? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But here, for me, what's most important, it's how they come across on my skin. And for me, they have a natural smelling effect. They are realistic and they are intense, not loud. I mean, they can be loud. I mean, this one and Ambrauaria, I mean, are a bit, but they are loud in a good way. They are not scratchy. They are just well blended. They are just perfect. These are perfect fragrances. Now, I'm not saying that I love all of them. No, not because they are badly blended or whatnot, just because they're not for me. I mean, they have one that it's tuberose. That for me, it's just tuberose, and for me, it's hard to wear. So they have some fragrances that are just not for me, but the majority of them, they are simply stunning. Ambrauria, it's the best amber. Then you have Aqua Viva, which is the best lemon for me. Then you have Orangeia. I mean, you name it. I have quite a few Profumo Broma fragrances, and patchouli. I'm mentioning patchouli because it's been a deep love for these last couple of months for the cold weather. I've been wearing this one a lot, and it's already one of my most complimented fragrances, especially from Profumo Broma. For my collection, is definitely my most complimented fragrance already. So yeah, that says something. So yeah, Profumo Broma, it's 220 euros, the normal price tag. Then you have some, for example, Excelso, I think it's 250 euros, which is, I mean, it's in a limit, but it's still, it's not a fragrance that I would love to have, but it's a nice fragrance nonetheless. You have Ignusa, which is a fantastic fig, but I think it's 220 still. So yeah, I mean, they have one fragrance or another that it's in the 250 mark. Rosé Mundi, for example, I think that one is in the 250 euros mark, or a bit more even. But the majority in general, these are in the 220 euros. Completely worth the price tag. Even if right now they raised up their prices, I still think they are worth the price tag, but that's just me. This is Patchouli, again from Profumo Broma. Next, it's Andy Tower Sundowner. This is 125 euros, and quite honestly, Andy Tower is not for everyone, and I don't love all Andy Tower fragrances, just because some aren't for me. But from the most part, I do enjoy Andy Tower, and I do love this one. Sundowner is an incredible tobacco scent. Warm, spicy, lots of cinnamon, tobacco, vanilla. Just so good, so delicious. This is perfect. This for me screams Christmas, screams winter, coziness, and it's still very, very sensual. Um, if you love tobacco vanilla, I think you can enjoy this one. Now, this is still far from tobacco vanilla, but it's in that realm of tobacco vanilla. But this has the Tower Odd, which is like the Tower DNA. This has the spices, this has the ambers. So I mean, this is still different from tobacco vanilla, but it shares the tobacco and vanilla. Basically, it's all. The only similarity is that, and then it goes in a completely different direction. But if you love like tobacco and vanilla fragrances, I think you will definitely love this one. I love the bottle presentation. I think this is an iconic bottle presentation already from any tower. Sundowner, I highly advise you to try this one, and it's completely worth the price tag. 125 euros, and this is a 50 ml eau de parfum. I think it's really good. You are having here a great, still unique scent for a nice price, and it's a long-lasting scent, at least on my skin. So it's Any Tower Sundowner. Next fragrance here, it's from the house of Frederic Malle. This is probably second or third. I mean, you have basically Profumo Broma as my favorite brands, niche brands. If we're talking just niche, it's definitely Profumo Broma number 1 and Frederic Malle number 2. If we are talking about in general, Frederic Malle may be number 3 because Chanel. I mean, this year for me is the year of Chanel, and I've been loving Chanel a lot and wearing Chanel a lot. And we will get there. We will get there, but for now I want to talk about this beautiful fragrance and this beautiful house. So this one is Promise, and I paid full retail. Promise this is 100 ml, and it's in the, I mean, it's not 300 euros, but it's close. It's 290 or 285 euros, if I'm not mistaken. So it's almost 300 euros retail, and it's worth it. It's completely worth the price tag. I love the apple. Now, the apple might turn some people off because it's too intense, but I love it. I love how the apple is on here. This green apple with spices, with agar morta. This is spicy, dry, bit sweet because of the apple. You have animalic nuances in here, a bit leathery. This is just to die for. Man, I love this, and I'm so proud to have this fragrance, especially in the 100 ml. This is from the Desert Gems collection, and then you have, I mean, the night, the dawn, the moon, and the other that I'm forgetting. And those are already too much. I mean, the night, for example, for 50 ml, it's 650 euros. I mean, it's insane. It's amazing, actually. It's my favorite. Aside Promise, the night is my favorite, but I mean, I would never pay 650 euros for just a 50 ml. I mean, that's insane. As much as high quality the wood might be, I mean, it's just too much. The moon, it's okay. I mean, it's nice. It's more of a rose oud scent, but it's not my favorite. Then you have the dawn, which is more fruity, or the moon is more fruity. But still, I mean, they're not adding anything new to the table, and I mean, the price is just outrageous. Shout outs to Rich Mitch. So I mean, I think this one, when out of the Desert Gems collection, this is the one that it's real worth the price tag. And it's still steep, but for me it's worth the price tag. It's very unique. You have the apple, you have the spices, the saffron, the animalic notes. It's dry, it's just intense, it's bold, it's loud, and I love it. This is one of the most intense fragrances that I have in my collection. You need to be careful with the sprayers with this one. But you have, I mean, for me, Frederic Malle is another house that it's completely worth the price tag. Yeah, it's a bit steep, but when you will compare with Sejov, with Rojadov, with, I mean, with other brand more mainstream maybe, more well known, or I don't know, that people are talking about more at least, these fragrances from Frederic Malle, I think they come across as more affordable. Not only of the price tag, but also when you will see the scent, their scent character. I mean, they are very unique, and they all add something new to the table. So you have this one, Promise, but then you have Music for a While, which is pineapple with lavender with patchouli. Unique combination, fantastic, and works on my skin. It works. You have Portrait of a Lady, which is a staple. Rose, patchouli, raspberry, spices. I mean, that's a very well-known fragrance. Then you have Mousse Ravageur, which is more affordable, which is, it goes in the 220 euros now, for 100 ml. You have French Lover, Vetiver Extraordinaire, Geranium pour Monsieur. These are the fragrances that I have. And then you have others, Monsieur, Noir Épice. I mean, you name it, and they are all worth the price tag, in my opinion. They are all unique. Some are more bold and loud and more masculine than others. Others are more green and fresh, more lighter, but still unique, still versatile, and they are versatile and they are worth it. It's a brand that it's just worth the price tag. The blend, the quality, the uniqueness, it's always there, it's always on point. So again, Promise, check this one out. But now we are heading towards summer, even we are already in spring and we are going to summertime. So I mean, this is not a fragrance that you will wear during the hot weather, but for the colder weather, this is a must-have. Promise from Frederic Malle. Now the next fragrance, it's from the house of Healy, another quite underrated brand in my opinion, and this one is Eau Sacrée. This is an extrait de parfum. This is part of the extrait de parfum line. I don't know if that's the correct name of this collection of Healy. This is a 100 ml and the retail price is 170 euros. Insane, because we are talking about one of the finest incense fragrances out there. But really, this is pure incense, frankincense in a bottle. Wow, this is out of this world. It's resins, it's smoky, it's just realistic and it has a natural smelling effect. This is, I mean, I don't know, either my favorite or my second favorite from as an incense fragrance, because I have Olibanum from Parfum Roma, which is to die for also. So I mean, it's this one and Olibanum. If you want the best, the very best frankincense, check this one out, because this one is more affordable, and later go try Olibanum from Parfum Roma. Again, if you want a perfect a perfect incense and it won't break the bank, check this one out. Great performance, high quality scent, natural smelling for 170 euros, 100 ml bottle size like this. Actually, I'm enjoying Healy. They have great fragrances, and either the Eau de Toilette and the Extrait de Parfums, I mean, I said Eau de Toilette or the Parfums, now I don't remember, like Note to Yuzu, Cardinal, which I have, the Hippie Rose, I mean that line, Ring the Bells of St. Clements, something like that. So that line, and then this one, I think James Healy overall is a solid house and very underrated, and the price is not that high. Again, I think it's a brand that definitely deserves more love, and this fragrance specifically is definitely deserves more love if you like incense fragrances. So this is Eau Sacrée by Healy. Next fragrance here, it's from the house of Ramon Monegal, another brand that I absolutely love. I have 7 fragrances from this brand. It was love at first sniff. This entire brand overall. I don't have words for this fragrance specifically. This is Alhambra Oud. Alhambra Oud is the best rose oud scent out there. This has raspberry, this has rose, this has oud, and this comes across as a natural smelling oud with rose. If you are familiarized with flamenco, also from Ramon Monegal, you will see that the rose that it's used in flamenco is the same that is used in Alhambra Oud. The retail price of this is 330 euros for just a 50 ml. Yes, I paid full retail because it's that good. I just love this. I simply do love this. Intoxicating, sensual, just wow. You gotta try for yourself. This is Alhambra Oud from the Don't Touch My Oud collection of Ramon Monegal, but Ramon Monegal is another brand that I highly advise you to explore, because all of his fragrances are worth the price tag in my opinion. And this is high. This is in the higher end in terms of price tag, but he has the regular line, which is like between 140 to 170 euros. So I mean, it will not break your bank, with the exception of the Don't Touch My Oud collection. I mean, the other fragrances are more affordable and still high quality scents and unique. But if you love oud and if you love rose, check this one out, and check the other oud fragrances from Ramon Monegal. I already have Soul of Oud, Ocean Oud, this one. I'm only missing Oud on Fire, which is also great. But well, for the sake of this video, is Alhambra Oud the best rose oud fragrance ever. And last but definitely not least, we are closing this one with a banger. From the house of Chanel, from the Les Exclusive, Le Lion. Outrageous. Another shout out to Rich Mitch, because I know that he doesn't love this one, but I do. And this was actually my first fragrance from the Les Exclusive. This is a 200 ml, 330 euros. It's what you have to pay retail. And with Chanel, it's hard. It's really hard to find this in the online discounters. It's impossible. You will not find it, period. Either someone else, someone through someone that is selling, or it will be impossible. But I don't mind. I love the experience to buy a Chanel fragrance in the Chanel store. So I just love it. Le Lion, what there is to say more about Le Lion that hasn't been said. This is one of the best purchases in recent years for me. Incense, vanilla, lots of amber, animalic nuances in here. Citruses on top, like touch of orange. This, it shares some similarities with Shalimar. This is like an ode to Shalimar from Guerlain, Eau de Parfum, which I love, but then goes in a different direction. I absolutely love this fragrance, but I mentioned this one. I could have mentioned Coromandel, Sycamore, or any other fragrance from Les Exclusive. I think the Les Exclusive of Chanel is worth the price tag. Either the 75 ml, either the 200 ml. It's a bit steep, yes, but it's worth it. It's worth it. You are getting high quality fragrances, high quality ingredients, materials, you name it. Great blend, with the Chanel DNA. You get elegance, you get sensuality, and I mean, it's all you need in a fragrance, and uniqueness, of course. Lilion, it was love at first sniff. It's so good. I love it. So we are closing this video with one of the best fragrances ever released in this last couple of years. It's Lilion from Chanel. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this already long video. Tell me in the comments down below what fragrances do you love, niche fragrances that you love and are entirely worth the price tag. I would love to discover some new hidden gems. Tell me everything in the comments down below, guys. Thank you once again for your ongoing support, and see you in the next video. Take care. Ciao.